At this point, I only had like 5 minutes left, and every time I looked in the mirror, he was staring right at me. I finished my workout and I went to the stretching area that is near the treadmills, but I'm still in front of the mirrors. I also took a glance at how long he'd been on the treadmill, and it was something like 8 minutes or so, but it wasn't long enough to get a workout or even a warm-up.
I do want to point out her awareness. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to do a little something different. Today we're going to react to one of my personal favorite YouTube channels, Nightmare Files. Mr. Nightmare, does he call himself Mr. Nightmare? I don't know. I don't think so, but that's what I call him, Mr. Nightmare. Over at Nightmare Files, he has some amazing content. He covers things from horror stories. He even covers the real story that inspired certain movies like Halloween, like The Conjuring, like Leatherface, those types of situations, those type of movies. Some amazing content. I discovered Mr. Nightmare. I keep calling him Mr. Nightmare. About 2.5 years ago, and he's been on YouTube for a very long time. He's been doing it for a long time, and lucky for me, I was a little late to the party, little Johnny come lately, because I was able to just binge so much of his content, and it's some good content, and I love it. So before we get into the video today, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, all right? Comment down below, share it with your friends, your family on your social medias, and make sure that you head over to Nightmare Files. I am going to leave his link in my description, and you head over there, you subscribe as well, like those videos, watch those videos, and let him know Big J sent you. All right, we're gonna dive into this video today. This should be a good one. So I was looking for one of the videos or some videos that I haven't gotten to watch yet, and I'm scrolling, and one jumps out at me. Of course, it would jump out at me. Gym horror stories. Anyone who knows me knows I'm big into my fitness. I love the gym. I work in a gym. I've worked in gyms and athletic facilities. I've been a strength and conditioning coach. I've been a personal trainer. I've been a head personal trainer. I've been a general manager. I've been an assistant manager in gyms. And eventually I do want to open my own gym. So this just stood out to me. I was like, and I just got in from the gym. So what more fitting story than to react to gym horror stories? So we're going to get into this video, and let's react to it. And as we go, just comment down below. I don't know what to expect because I haven't seen this one yet, so this should be fun.
So one day I was at the gym, just doing cardio on a treadmill. It was pretty empty, not very many people were there on a Thursday at noon. I always use the treadmills in front of the mirrors so I can pay attention to the surroundings. I was on a treadmill 2 away from the end, and all of them were empty except one at the opposite end. This man gets on a treadmill right next to me, which is weird, but okay. I have my headphones in and I'm watching a show. And every so often I look up at the mirrors just to check on my surroundings, and every time I look...
All right, pause. Right there. Why do people do that? I mean, there's no law against it, but like, I just had that happen to me maybe a day or two ago. You're on a treadmill. It's a line of treadmill. It's like 15 treadmills in one row. plenty of treadmills. Someone comes up and gets next to you. Like, do you really want to smell me? You want to be that close to me? You don't see those other treadmills? It's almost like the bathroom rule for the guys, right? You gotta put a urinal in between us, brother.
Look up. This man is staring right at me. Around 37 minutes of my 45-minute planned cardio workout, he drops his phone. But he drops it on the side that I'm on, off his treadmill. I was watching in the mirror and he basically threw it down next to me. He gets off the treadmill, picks his phone up, and then he taps me on my shoulder. Now, I never took my headphones out, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying. But it seemed like he introduced himself, but I never caught his name. And then he asked my name and I gave him a fake one. He then said something else and it looked like I couldn't really tell, I couldn't hear him, but it looked like he was saying, "Do you want fudge?" for some reason. I don't know why he would ask me that. But reading his lips, it looks like he said, "Do you want fudge?" Again, I couldn't hear him. I just nodded and I returned to my show, clearly uninterested in whatever he was saying. At this point, I only had like 5 minutes left, and every time I looked in the mirror, he was staring right at me. I finished my workout and I went to the stretching area that is near the treadmills, but I'm still in front of the mirrors. I also took a glance at how long he'd been on the treadmill, and it was something like 8 minutes or so, but it wasn't long enough to get a workout or even a warm-up.
I do want to point out her awareness. Stay aware, ladies. Everybody should stay aware. There's way too many people that's like one of my pet peeves, if that's what you call it. The people that just don't have any awareness. Like walk around with their heads in the clouds. They don't look where they're walking. They don't pay attention to anything. Like, be aware of your surroundings. Teach your children. Be aware of their surroundings. It's just important. Not even for only safety, but like, you don't want to run into something or to someone else who like I've had happen to me plenty of times. I'm walking in the mall, somebody walks right into me because they're looking the other way or they're just not paying attention. Be aware of your surroundings, people.
When I moved to the stretching area, he moved to the closest machine and was still staring at me. I actually caught him staring at me when I was on my back and I had my legs behind my head. Yes, that is a stretch that I do. He then walked a little closer.
Okay.
At that point, I took off and I got out of there. I ran out the door. I didn't look back at all. I got to my car, sat down, turned it on, and I grabbed my seatbelt. And as I was about to click it into place, my passenger side door opened and I saw that man reach across the passenger seat. I yelled at him to get out and off my car, and I pulled out the parking spot with both doors wide open while he was holding onto the door. He fell off the car after holding on for about 20 meters. I drove a mile down the road with my passenger side door open.
Girl, reverse. I know it seems crazy. Reverse. You know why I'm telling you to reverse. There's cameras everywhere. They see what happened. Reverse. You'll be all right. Reverse that car on him.
When I got home, I noticed that the man dropped a bag on the floor by the passenger seat. In that bag, he had duct tape, a hammer, and some spermicidal lube. Then the next day, I went to the gym to...
Oh no, not that movie. Oh man, not that movie. I love that movie.
Report him, but like I said, I never got his name, and the gym didn't want to look at the cameras with me right there, and said that once they figure out who he was, they'll let me know and they'll talk to him, which really didn't feel like they were doing anything about the situation. So the next week I canceled my membership and I never went back to that gym.
See, as a GM, one thing I made sure was that all my members felt safe. I don't play. My female members, my male members, I make them feel safe, right? If something's happening there and they don't feel comfortable, please come let me know. I'm not going to make you feel like nothing's being done about it. You know, I have watched, ladies that feel like they're being creeped on. I've watched them, I've walked out to the edge of the parking lot and watched them get in their vehicles and made sure nobody followed them. I've watched some guys work out that, may have had words with each other and made sure that they stayed away from each other without any conflict. That's one thing I prided myself on. Just it's going to be a comfortable and safe environment. So this gym, I don't know what gym it was, but shame on them.
This all started when I moved into our new house and started up a new gym membership. I'm 5'3" and I look pretty young for my age. But anyways, so one night at the gym, I saw this weird guy staring at me and sort of followed me around. Honestly, he looked crazy and he looked like a shell-shocked soldier. He was very socially awkward, quiet, but he looked like a smart person for some reason. He had a huge build. He was big, probably about 6'4", and he looked like a bodybuilder. So then he eventually passed by the machine I was on and he looked directly at me, almost like he was reading me. It was like a deer in headlights. My gut just told me that I was in trouble. So eventually I get up and I head for the lockers. And no surprise, he headed for the men's locker room, which was right next door. I made myself literally sit in that locker room for about 20 minutes to make sure that he would not leave the same time as I did. So I peer out of the locker room and I don't see him. So I start heading out to the exit. And out of nowhere, this guy literally pops out of nowhere and heads out behind me. At this point, I'm now accepting that challenge. Fight or flight kicked in and I was ready to fight. I slow down and I stare at him with the most serious deadlock stare I can muster up. He walks to his car and I walk to mine. We were staring at each other the entire time. I stand there in front of my car.
I get it, you went into fight or flight, but I think the better option, and this is just for anyone else's knowledge, go back in the gym. Just go back in. Go back in where there's a lot of people, where there's cameras, where there's people that can help you, and call the police. There's nothing wrong with calling the police and letting them know you don't feel safe. That's what they're there for, to help you feel safe and make sure you stay safe. So I get the whole fight or flight and the whole mean stare, leave me alone stare. I understand. I get it. But go back inside. Call the cops.
I stare as he gets into his car. He then lowers his head and gives me the most bone-chilling, evil-eyed stare anyone could ever give. It kind of made me chuckle. I waited for him to drive off. So then I figured I lost him and I started driving home. I live in a very small town with neighborhoods with dead-end cul-de-sacs. So right before I turn into my neighborhood, this SUV rides up behind me, on my tail aggressively. I know that man followed me after that, but I have no idea how he did because he was very stealthy. I'm pretty sure this guy is ex-military or something, just by his demeanor. He looked about 36 years old. He had an SUV and just everything screamed ex-military. So anyways, about 3 days go by and my husband leaves for work. An hour or so goes by and I'm upstairs in the bed and I hear my front door open.
I hope she told her husband about the situation, not just went home and told her husband everything was fine.
Someone just walked into my house. My heart stopped. I had no idea who it was. So I creep out of my room and I see all 3 of my kids are fast asleep. I walk over to one of their rooms and I look out of the window to the street. Then my heart dropped. A van was parked directly in front of my house that I didn't recognize. It was an old unmarked van that was parked at a very unusual diagonal angle and it was running. The lights were on. So I started stomping and screaming and making noise. And I waved and I started flickering the lights in my house. I was trying to threaten them and get the attention of the person outside. So the van races off and it leaves whoever in my house. Then all of a sudden, I see this man emerge from under the window with his face completely covered in a clown mask. He was running away from my house. But get this, he had that same build as the guy from the gym. It's just unmistakable. He's huge and I don't really see people like that around here. At first I thought it was a random robbery, but the guy dropped multiple pictures of me leaving the gym and going home. My husband saw that van apparently once after that, and it was 3 weeks later, and it sped off when he walked outside. My brother-in-law, a couple weeks after that, came to visit and had to park around the corner. He told me he saw a guy walking by the house and he looked very suspicious. When I asked the description, he gave me the same description as that one guy that I saw at the gym and the one who ran away from the house. Honestly, I'm creeped out and I really don't know what's going on and why this is happening to me.
Call the police. I know there may not be something that they can do right then and there. Like they can't just go arrest a ghost, right? But at least there's some trail of, hey, this guy, maybe they can go to the gym and the gym has cameras and they can get an accurate description, find what the guy looks like on the camera. It can help. That way, just in case they just so happen to ride by and he is walking past your house, that might be grounds for something. I don't know. But hey, listen. If you're still here watching the video, what I need you to do, go down in the comment section. Just type nightmare right there. So that way I know people are still watching. All right? Let's keep going.
Two summers ago, I got a membership to a local gym. It was about 2 minutes away from my summer job, so I usually went to the gym after work to avoid a ton of driving. My shifts were 6 to 10 p.m. and I'd be leaving the gym by 11. Now I live in a small and generally safe town, so my guard is usually down. One night while I was working out, a man that looked to be in his mid to late 30s started making small talk with me. We were the only two people there, and I'm a people pleaser, so my responses were always courteous, but as short as possible. I never asked any questions or kept the conversation going. I didn't think much of it, but each time I came back, this man would either greet me or make small talk, and I'd be polite, but my headphones in as usual. It didn't feel that serious or fair to me to start going out of my way to avoid him until one night. I got off work around 10 p.m. as usual and I went to the gym. That man was there, along with another middle-aged man, and I got a short workout in. As I was on the flat bench press, as I lay back down, put my arms up to grab the bar, and I began to smell what I would say was cheese. And then one of those men poked me in the head with something. He grabbed one of my headphones out of my ear and asked if I need a spot. It startled me, so I jumped up quick and I told him no. I was so pissed that I didn't finish my workout. What the hell did he poke me in the head with? It smelled like old cheese. Afterwards, I went back to my car. The gym was in a shopping center and the parking lot was huge and dark, as all the stores closed early. Out of habit, I locked my car when I got inside and then I started to text my boyfriend. Suddenly, I heard my passenger side door handle get tugged on hard. Hard enough that if my car wasn't locked, it absolutely would have been open. I looked up and I saw that man looking in my car and smiling.
Ooh.
He laughed at the fact that I probably looked startled. He waved, and then he tugged on the handle again. He saw that it was locked, and he wasn't getting in, so he stopped. He looked over the car toward the gym, and he waved over someone. It was the man that poked me in the head. He began to run toward the car, and I sped off immediately. I'm not sure if he was planning on doing something bad or anything, or was just trying to prank me. But either way, it was a creepy situation, and it was inappropriate. So I stopped going to the gym at night for the rest of that summer. And honestly, I carry a weapon on me everywhere I go because of that situation.
Ooh-wee. Man, now y'all see why I love this channel, man. Mr. Nightmare, his voice just being in that, what do they call it, baritone, just kind of engulfs you in the story, just kind of pulls you right into the story. You can almost envision it if you just sit there and just listen. But yeah, those are just a few. Those are a little creepy though. People walking up on you in the gym. Again, I've seen a lot in the gym. I've been working in gyms for a long time. Be aware of your surroundings, people, if you can. I mean, I wouldn't tell you to, because I'm not one of those people that has gym partners. I work out by myself. But, you know, ladies, get you a gym partner, get you a friend, you know, come with your spouse, whoever. That way you just feel safe. You know, these 3 stories seem like all 3 females, you know. Ladies, you got to be safe too, right? You want to go to the gym and you want to work out and whatnot. Be safe. You know, if you're in a state where you're able to protect yourself, then by all means, you know, I don't know if you can take those things in the gym, but, you know, abide by the laws in your state. But just be aware of your surroundings, people. You know, there are people like that everywhere. You know, it's not the majority, but you never know when you run into those types of people. All right. So if you made it to the end of this video, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, and share. And again, head over to Nightmare Files, subscribe to his channel, like his videos, and let him know Big J sent you. All right. Till next time.